There's a fine line between right and wrong. And somewhere in the shadows, they send us in to find it.
What is up, and welcome back. It's Scovos bringing you another Call of Duty Modern Warfare video today. And in today's video, we're going to be going over my absolute favorite class setup for the Oden assault rifle in Search and Destroy. So the very first thing we're going to touch base on is what field upgrade to use. And there's a lot of choices here, but I feel like the first and most obvious choice, and really the only one you should be using in Search and Destroy, is going to be Dead Silence. And the reason behind this is because it makes you extremely quiet, it has a recharge rate of fast, and not a lot of people seem to realize this, but gun, melee, and throwing knife kills also refresh their duration, allowing you to be in dead silence for longer periods of time. Now, when do you use dead silence? Dead silence is perfect to pop right before you get in a battle, right before sneaking behind enemy lines, before planting or defusing the bomb, especially if you're rush planting or ninja defusing. It is a perfect tool for just about any sticky situation. It's also great for escaping those sticky situations. If most of your teammates are down and not a lot of the enemy teammates have died, then you can pop this, escape, and then re-engage when you feel ready. And the next thing we're going to go over is the Killstreak selections. So my personal favorite is going to be the 4 Killstreak UAV, 5 Killstreak cruise missile, and 8 Killstreak VTOL jet. Now, some other choices here is going to be personal radar, but the reason I'm pointing this one out specifically is because not a lot of people realize this either, but using personal radar does give away your position. So the personal radar will fly around your approximate location, and if you're behind enemy lines, especially on Search and Destroy, or if you're last alive and you use this, the entire team, if they're paying attention, or if they're smart enough, will realize where you are in relativity to the radar. So be careful if you're using this, and it's also relatively easy to shoot down, as you can just use a normal gun, and a rocket launcher or something along those lines is not necessary. Now, for UAV, a lot of people do use Ghost, but you would also be surprised how many people don't run Ghost in Search and Destroy. And for me, getting a 4 kill streak is not that difficult. I'm very good at Search and Destroy, and I don't talk highly of myself at many things, but Search and Destroy is something that I'm very confident in. That's why I run the 4, 5, and 8 kill streaks. So maybe if you're not comfortable with getting 8 kills, throwing that 3 kill streak personal radar is definitely a choice. Or throwing on a 7 kill streak, but personally I don't really like any of these 7 kill streaks, as I don't find them that useful. But moving on into the cruise missile. Cruise missile is definitely easily 100% my favorite kill streak out of any of these, just because while using the cruise missile, you can also call out every location of every enemy that you see. Take your time while deploying the cruise missile, call out those enemies to your teammates, and then you can easily pick one off. This is almost a guaranteed kill every single time you use it. So as it's coming down, you can target that sniper head glitching in the back, the camper in the building if you can manage to get in a doorway or a window if they've just been there every single round, or it can come in clutch by killing somebody trying to defuse or plant the bomb if you're outnumbered. So if you have a cruise missile up and you're the last alive and the bomb is down, you can run away, pop that cruise missile, and kill any enemies trying to defuse, and that buys you some time, enough time to hopefully hold off the timer and win that round. Other good choices obviously are going to be Precision Airstrike and Cluster Strike. You can drop these on the bomb you just planted, a bomb that they're trying to defuse, or a bomb that the enemy team is rushing. So this definitely holds off the bomb site for quite a good period of time, but does not give you the ability to call out every single enemy location. And if you're only targeting one person, it is very hit or miss whether you're actually going to get that kill or not. As for the VTOL jet, this is probably the strongest kill streak within reason on Search and Destroy. Obviously, any of the ones above this are very powerful, but the VTOL jet is extremely loud, and that's probably the biggest perk of it. So the VTOL flying around forces people indoors and then causes an atrocious amount of noise, and it's just ridiculous how loud this is. If you haven't played with this on Search and Destroy, give it a shot and pay attention to how you cannot hear anything at all. So if you're using this, you can pop your dead silence and pretty much do whatever you want, because nobody's going to expect or know where you're coming from for that matter. And now moving into loadouts specifically. Now obviously my favorite Oden class setup will have the Oden assault rifle. but for the secondary across the board is going to be a combat knife. And the reason for using the combat knife is because you can pull it out off spawn and double sprint with it, getting the fastest movement speed possible. So I definitely use the combat knife anytime I go to rush plant or anytime I try to push up and grab a position I like to hold, waiting for the attackers or defenders to cross my line of sight. Another choice I use across the board is going to be the lethal Semtex grenade. And the reason I choose the Semtex grenade over all of the other lethals is because claymores, I feel like they're cheap. C4 takes too long to use in my opinion. Frag grenades can bounce around sporadically, and Molotovs and thermites are too hit or miss whether you're actually going to get a kill or not. The throwing knife is very precise, and I miss way too often with those. And proximity mine also feels like a claymore, and it's kind of cheap to use in search and destroy. If you use those, nothing against you, but I prefer the Semtex in just about every way, shape, and form. The Semtex, again, does not bounce around sporadically, so you can throw this in a room, know that it's going to stay in the room. If you stick an enemy, it's a guaranteed kill for the most part. And then it's also good against riot shielders, and there's a lot of riot shielders running around in search and destroy, so you can definitely use this to your advantage. It's also great for spawn nading certain areas or throwing it at vehicles and cars in order to get the kills that you want. So now to move into the attachments for the Oden specifically. So we're going to go under Gunsmith here, and as for the Oden and all of the other assault rifles that I use in Search and Destroy or any other game mode for that matter is going to be the Compensator. Now the Compensator aggressively fights upward muzzle climb and dramatically reduces the recoil. So on the Oden is a slow firing, heavy hitting assault rifle, so you definitely want the recoil on point. Because if you miss that bullet, that's a couple of bullets that the enemy is going to be able to shoot by the time the next round fires. Now the cons for this is going to be aim down sight speed and aiming stability. Aiming stability is the sway of the weapon, so it's not that big of a deal, and aim down sight speed shouldn't be that big of a deal either because this is not a run and gun class. You should usually be aim down your sights before engaging in any battles. As for the barrel, I threw on the Oden Factory 810mm barrel because this dramatically increases damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. So yet again, we're stacking up that recoil control to have as little recoil as possible. The cons are going to be aim down sight speed again, and the cost of a little bit of movement speed, but is not very noticeable. For the underbarrel is going to be the Ranger foregrip, so again, this increases your recoil control, and actually this one increases your aiming stability, canceling out the downsides of the other attachments a little bit. The cons will be aim, walking, move speed, and aim down sight speed again. For our rear grip, we're going to throw on the rubberized grip tape to yet again stack even more recoil control. The con is going to be, again, aiming stability, but also aiming stability is not that big of a deal since it's just the sway of the weapon. So we have a few things stacking up on recoil control to dramatically reduce the recoil. And that's going to allow you to land these heavy hitting, slow firing shots on your enemies much easier. Another great grip is going to be the stippled grip tape, which increases aim down to sight speed and sprint to fire speed. So if you're going to be moving around a little bit more, running in and out of areas, this is going to be your choice. But the Oden has a slow fire rate, so is not a very good for that run and gun playstyle. For the optic, and the last perk on the list is going to be the GI Mini Reflex, and I use this on just about every single gun that I run because I absolutely love this reflex sight. This reflex has a very small bezel around the edge, so it obscures very little of your screen. Any of the reflex sights work very well, but this one is my personal favorite. And that will wrap up the video for today. I want to thank you for stopping by. Please click that subscribe button. It really does help me out quite a bit, and it'll help me help you by putting out more quality content. And if you did like the video, you can also click that thumbs up button. If you did not like the video, you're more than welcome to click the thumbs down as well. And as always, let me know what you think below in the comment section. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on all of this. And if you want to know right when my videos go live, you're more than welcome to click the bell icon to get notified when they do right away. And just a heads up for all of my followers, subscribers, and my loyal viewers across all of my social media channels, I will be rolling out my YouTube membership very soon, so keep an eye out for that join button on my YouTube channel. This is going to include exclusive giveaways, extra entries for those giveaways, exclusive playtime for some of the tiers with me on any game that you want, and other various rewards. I'm also open to suggestions and ideas from all of you still sticking around this video long enough to hear me talk about this. As always, I hope you have a good evening, morning, night, afternoon, or whatever it is, wherever you are, but thank you for stopping by, and I hope to see you in my next videos.